What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Goose Island Beer Company, and they are out of Chicago, Illinois. And this is their Bourbon County brand Cherrywood Stout, and this is the 2021 vintage. So they are calling this one a stout aged in bourbon barrels and finished with a cherry wood. It comes in at 14.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. And this bottle is just over 6 months old. So a couple weeks ago, I started reviewing some Bourbon County on the channel every Friday. The first one I reviewed was the base Bourbon County of the 2021 vintage. Delicious, one of the better vintages in recent memory. Then last week, I did the Classic Cola variant, the 2021 vintage, and it kind of worked, it kind of didn't. I enjoyed it, but something I probably would never buy again, but I enjoyed trying it for the first time ever. And this is the third one I'm reviewing, and it is the Cherrywood variant. And I'm really excited about this one. So what they do with this one is they finish this one with cherry wood, and they toast the cherry wood, and the cherry wood is actually the honeycomb-shaped cherry wood chips, which apparently allows them to get the maximum intensity of flavors added to the beer. So that's pretty cool. I've heard some good things about this one. People seem to enjoy it, and hopefully I do as well. So let's crack this one open, get it into the glass, and see what we got going on. So, oh, I can already smell it. It smells very intense, I'll tell you that much. So anyway, let's give this a pour. Glug, 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 indeed. Do something like that. We'll go about halfway. That's probably what I'm going to drink today. A lot of times I don't pour as much, but I'm probably going to cap this and drink the rest of it tomorrow, most likely. Anyway, a little bit on the side sheet. Can't really tell too much. So yeah, in the glass, it has this really dark brown color. As it poured out, was like a dark brown color. On camera, it's going to be pitch black. Has about a third of a finger of this dark brown head. Lots of alcohol legs on the side of the glass. Yeah, it looks nice. Let's get a nose. Okay. So I'm not going to bullshit you. You know, I'm 100% honest when it comes to these reviews. So I saw the tasting notes. It says subtle notes of stone fruit, dark cherry, and light wood tannins. So yeah, I mean, I kind of anticipate that going into this one, but yeah, the cherry's there. It has like this really nice sweet dark cherry component. The oak tannins are definitely bigger than the regular base beer. So in addition to the barrel oak tannins, you're also getting it from the cherry wood itself. But the base of this beer, and I think again, the 2021 base vintage is fantastic. There's just I almost feel like it's giving me cherry cordial vibes in here, because there's that sweet dark cherry, but there's so much chocolate and fudge and just like sweet dark chocolate that it's crazy. There's some vanilla from the barrel, like a peppery bourbon too. I feel like, and this might be the base barrel presence in addition to the cherry wood itself, I think I'm getting more of like an actual barrel kind of note, or like a woody oak tannin thing. But yeah, vanilla, peppery bourbon. There's nice caramel and like toffee notes. A little bit of molasses in here as well. Sweeter, rich, decadent characteristics. More so than I think either of the first two I reviewed. I keep on going back, and that dark cherry is the predominant note. It's hovering over everything. So when I go back, the first thing that hits my nostrils is that like dark cherry component, and then underneath it is where everything else starts coming to the forefront. But every single time I go back, it's there. And I'm not mad at it at all. I'm getting, like, again, cherry cordial vibes. It smells awesome. Here's the thing. Of the three, this has the most booze presence in the nose. Like, you can smell it. You can smell the alcohol. The booze is there. Not much more to say about it. I want to get into, so cheers to everybody. Let's see what this one has to offer. Yeah, that's real good. That's real fucking good. Wow, is that good. I like that a lot. Oh, Man, what a roller coaster my taste buds just went on. I'm still like getting nuances of things after. Wow, this is super complex. Holy shit, I did not expect that. So I said the classic cola was a bit thinner than the base, 100%. This has a great body. This is thick. This is syrupy. This is full bodied. Like as I held it there on my palate, it just enveloped it all. Like it's big. Mouthfeel, very smooth. There's carbonation, but it has a nice softness to it, but very smooth on the palate. Body's fantastic. Mouthfeel's really nice. The taste. This has, to me, big cherry cordial vibes, but not in the sense that I'm actually saying that. What I mean is this, like maybe like a Black Forest cake, but not to that level. Like it has a pretty big cherry presence, but it's not like overbearing. It's hard because, again, I feel the cherry is there. It's prominent. It's something I pick up on every single sip, but it's not too much cherry, if that makes any sense. Like it's not getting in the way. It's not stepping in the way. It's not making this beer stick out in a negative way. It's just, it's a nice, I don't want to say nuance, but it's a nice addition that changes up the complexity to the base beer. Right from that cherry hits, and it's sweet dark cherry to me. So if you ever had like darker cherries, and you know a lot of times when you eat cherries, sometimes you'll get a nice ripe one that's really sweet and juicy and just delicious. Sometimes you get a little bit more of a tart one. But when you get a nice sweet dark cherry, that's what that kind of characteristic is in this beer. It's like a sweet dark cherry. And it's omnipresent, but it never again steps in the way of the base beer. It's just always there. Then, just like the base, tons of fudgy, sweet dark chocolate, like a 40-50% cacao bar. So it's not overly sweet, but it has a nice sweetness. There's caramel, there's toffee, there's molasses. And that's like the first quarter of the palate. It's just all of that great chocolate character with more of like a caramelized sugar kind of presence. As it passes through, the vanilla hits, there's a peppery bourbon kind of note. Now they said on the label stone fruits. I'm really not getting any stone fruits. Maybe you're getting them. Maybe you're getting an apricot or a mango or a peach or something. I guess technically cherries have pits in them, so stone fruit. But I'm getting more like vanilla middle of the palate. And then, again, a peppery kind of bourbon. As it finishes, this has more of a barrel presence. And again, I think that's a combination of the barrel itself along with the toasted cherry wood. It has an oak tannin dryness that is full on dry. There's a mild to moderate bitterness. This is more approaching moderate because I've used this tasting note. I think I may have used it in the first review I did from the base beer, the 2021. It has the popsicle kind of stick vibe to it where it has a bittering oak tannin kind of presence on the back. Very dry, moderately bitter. Kind of has that on the back of the palate. I could smell the booze. I don't taste it as much. There's no astringency really on the palate. Maybe it's adding to that dryness. There is a nice warming in the chest, but it's 14.2%. I'm expecting some kind of characteristic from the alcohol that kind of lets itself be known on the palate. But I'm okay. I'd still guess like 12.5%, 13%. I wouldn't guess 14.2 if I was doing this blind. This is really nice. I thought I would kind of place this between, like just going off of what people, again, and I'll be honest with you, once again, when it comes to these reviews, a lot of times when I review a beer for the first time, I go out of my way to avoid tasting notes. Well, I didn't know when I was going to review this. And I saw most of the reviews of this beer, whether it was on YouTube or on Untappd, typically in late November, December, January. And I kind of remember what people said, but not to that extent. But I know that a lot of people like this more than the cola variant, and some people liked it more than the base, but maybe right around the base, maybe a little bit under the base. So I thought I would enjoy this one more than cola one. I certainly am, and I kind of expected that. But I don't know if I enjoy this more than the base. I think this might be more complex than the base, but maybe not. Some people might think that cherry kind of dominates and takes away. I think it adds. Yeah, there's cherry cordial vibes throughout this, but again, not to that level. Black Forest cake without an overbearing sweetness. This is sweet, don't get me wrong, but man, is it dry, and man, is there a nice moderate bitterness on the back of the palate. This is very well balanced. This is really tasty. This is delicious. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna like this more than the average person. but I'm sure there's people out there that enjoy this more than me. I'm really happy about this one. I'm somebody who loves cherries. So the fact they're using cherry wood, and it's the cherry character is derived from the cherry wood. Whatever they did with the honeycomb shape to cherry wood chips or whatever, the way they toasted it and integrated it into the base beer, I think it just works for me personally. So I really like this one a lot. Now I have the Moan Cherry 2019 vintage that I will review probably in the next couple months. I'll see how that one is held up. I did not drink that one fresh, so I don't really know. But I can't, if it's more cherry forward than this, it might be too much, but I don't know. I don't know. This is cherry wood, not cherry, but whatever. At the end of the day, this beer right here is absolutely fucking delicious. And I love it. And I'm going to give it a rating that's just under the base, because I think I like the base slightly more as a whole. I think it's more drinkable, and that's the one thing that I like about it. But this is really close. So I am going to give Bourbon County brand Cherrywood Stout, the 2021 vintage. I'm going to give this a high 4.5. I believe I gave the base a 4.6. I'm going to go 4.55 on this one. I think that's a fucking fair score for what I'm drinking. This is great. And if you have a bottle or two of this laying around and you haven't tried it yet, break it out. It's drinking extremely well, at least in my opinion. Price and availability, I think, and again, don't quote me here because I'm going off of memory. I didn't keep the receipts, from 4 months ago and looking at them and whatnot. I think I paid 20 or 21 bucks for that. This was lower than the classic Cola Stout, only because there's obviously less adjuncts. I would take this over the Cola Stout all day long. I gave that a 4.05, 4.55. That's a half point higher. Yeah, if you see bottles of this on the shelves, grab it. If you see bottles of the Cola one, only grab it if you really, really are curious. Otherwise, just leave it there and grab this one. That's my personal opinion. Availability, I think, in my area anyway, and let me know if it's different for you guys out there. In my area, the base, the Cola, and this one, readily available. What I mean by that is I think I went to 3 different places, and every single place had all 3 of those variants available. The 14 and the double toasted were the other 2, I think, that showed up in my area, and both of those went quickly. I think each place got like a case or 2, and that was it. So yeah, I would definitely pick this up if you see any bottles of it. I mean, for 20 bucks, I think it's worth it. It's a 16.9 ounce bottle, so it's more than $1 an ounce, but I think it's worth it. A 4.55 is an incredibly high score for me, so yeah, not much more to say. Done. We're done here. I will say this, though. There's one other thing not to say about this one, but I have a lot of variants from the last couple of years that I'll be reviewing hopefully over the next couple months. At some point, I think after April, I'm going to start doing like 1 a month or maybe 2 a month instead of every Friday. But I do have some vintages in my cellar, and my cellar is nothing incredible. If you want to see an incredible cellar, go over to a good friend of mine, a fellow beer tuber, Kyle, over at No Hype Beer Reviews. His cellar's behind him in every single review. My cellar consists of beers in basically boxes where you can put 12 in a box. And a lot of people are like, oh, do a cellar video. And it's like, look, do a cellar video. A, it's going to be super boring. It's going to be me looking through boxes. And B, I just really don't want to. What I might do, though, and this has kind of inspired me from this and then reviewing some of the vintages going forward, I think I'm going to do either a cellar Saturday or Sunday. Now, Kyle does a cellar Saturday. I've already asked him. He said he'd be cool if I did a cellar Saturday. I might do cellar Sunday, though. And I might do something that includes the viewers. I might do like a viewer's choice thing where at the beginning of the week, maybe I will post 4 or 5 beers within my cellar that I'm going to review. We'll do a poll in the community section, and then I'll review it at the end of the week and post it on Sunday, something like that. And I want to get to a lot of the beers I have in cellars. Some of them are very old. I need to drink, but I do have some really old Bourbon County. I'm talking like 7, 8, 9-year-old Bourbon County beer. So I'm going to review a special one, hopefully for my 4th year anniversary, my channel's 4th year anniversary. Anyway, this will be a long review, obviously. I'm just kind of bullshitting here at the end. Most people have probably clicked off at this point. If you haven't, though, let me know. Do you think a cellar Saturday or cellar Sunday would be cool? Are you looking forward to maybe some vintage Bourbon County reviews? Because I think they'd be fun, for sure. Anyway, once again, if you've had this one before, throw it in the comment section. I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one, cheers.